Thank you all for sending questions for the Friday Q&A. Before I get started with this next Q&A, going to give you a quick little change that I'm doing to the Q&A. It'll also be in the description box down below what this change is. For now on, only one question per video. I do these videos twice a week, and in all honesty, I'm tired of 30-minute uploads. I was one of those guys that hated long uploads to begin with. You know, I'm fine if you want to do a Google Hangout, and then you do that little Twitter, and, you know, you have a bunch of people on, and it might go over an hour long. That's fine. But when it comes down to, you know, the Q&As, I'm like, really, 30 minutes? I don't even find myself that entertaining, people, just to be honest here. I don't find myself that entertaining. I don't think I can go 30 minutes twice a video a week. You know, that just is a little bit too much for me. And plus, I have a class from Tuesday that goes from, you know, 3 to 5:50. That's like my last class of the day. And then I have to walk home from that. And then I come home, eat dinner, and it's like, okay, I got to film a Q&A. And it's like 30 minutes long, and I'm sitting in this chair for 30 minutes answering questions, which I have no problem with. But it's just like, you know, that's a little bit too long, man. And then I have to upload it, and then I got to stay up and watch it upload, and my internet's slow as fuck around here, so it doesn't really upload fast enough, and this is all in 720, high definition and stuff, so I'm moving the Q&A down to one question per video. Hope you guys are all cool with that. If you're not, totally understand if you're upset by that, but just know it was an executive decision by me. I asked Final Limits, one of the person who has been asking the Q&A questions since like episode 1 of the Q&As, so he said he was cool with it, so I said, hey, Final Limits is cool with it. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys wouldn't mind either. So let's get started with this one. Francis Ward asked, what if the bunny becomes Adam Rose's Frank, like in the movie Donnie Darko, and starts telling him to burn things, then it all turns out to be a figment of Leo Kruger's insane imagination that we can all see for some reason. Your thoughts? That's a good idea. It definitely would make an Adam Rose character interesting, but the only problem is this. It's the execution of an idea like that. It's a good idea. Like, on paper, that sounds wonderful, but it's just that, you know, how are you going to execute that for the fans that we can physically see the bunny? We know that the bunny exists and all that other stuff, but it's just like, how can we tell the fans, like, you know, oh, this bunny doesn't exist, this bunny's not real, it was just a figment of his imagination. What if people touched the bunny one time? People are going to be like, no, I touched the bunny. That guy's not fake. He's a real bunny. So, you know, it's really hard to execute something like that in the world of professional wrestling. That's just the truth. But it's a great idea, man. Francis Ward also asked, if you could see Shane McMahon's return for one match, who would you like to see him face and why? If Shane could return for one match, I would like to see him face Bray Wyatt. Just because I think him and Bray Wyatt could put on an awesome match, and the mic skills between the two would be pretty damn solid. James Isabel asked, what do you think would happen first? John Cena putting over someone or a black WWE champion? And do you do fantasy football? Shit. Cena putting over someone. I don't see a black WWE champion for the next 5 years. That's just the honest truth. And I think Cena will put over someone at least around that time, like in 3 years. So Cena putting over someone is definitely more likely to happen than a black WWE champion. And yes, I do fantasy football. I'm in 4 currently. It's pretty fun. Johnny Russo asked, would you rather be a professional wrestler or work in an office with the same salary plus benefits like a union and a pension? Definitely work in an office type of deal. You know, I would love to be a professional wrestler, but if I'm getting paid the same, and keep in mind this, I'm working in the office, right? I'm getting paid as much as, let's say, a mid-card wrestler. You know, that's good. That's good fucking money right there. Like, most jobs don't even pay that shit. You know, I got a union, I got pensions, I probably got health care all covered and stuff like that. With wrestling, I have to get my own health care. I have to pay with my own money to travel. You know, yeah, I definitely would work in the office. As much as I would love to be a professional wrestler, it's just like, hey, man, you got to do what's best. It's not how much you make, it's how much you save at the end of the day. Michael Murray asked for Q&A. Who pulled off the Hollywood gimmick better, The Rock or The Miz? Oh, Rock. Are you kidding me? Like, The Miz's Hollywood gimmick, it's good right now, but no way in hell it's The Rock. The Rock's just pure entertainment, man. That was when The Rock was at its best, man. That was one of my favorite Rocks that he's ever done. You know, because like around 2002, he was kind of getting kind of stale. And then afterwards, he came back as a Hollywood Rock. Oh my God, that shit was just awesome. Chris Stark asked, would you rather dress up in Jeff Hardy's ring gear or wrestle 1 hour Iron Man match with the Great Khali? Oh, dress up in Jeff Hardy's ring gear. That shit's sick, man. I've always like imagined coming out with face paint and whatever the fuck drops down from Jeff Hardy's face and, you know, those little weird armbands. Yeah, why not? I think it looks cool. I like Hardy's ring gear, so I'd have no problem dressing up as Jeff Hardy. Chris Stark also asked, what are your thoughts on Ryback and how he claims himself as the 4-time WWE champion? I find it kind of funny. It's a humorous scene that Ryback likes to say that he's the 4-time WWE champion. So it's all good fun. You know, he does the same thing with Ryback. So like they call themselves the 6-time World Tag Team Champions. So I'm fine with it. I don't care all that much. It's just Ryback being sarcastic. Squidward asked, why does this exist? And he put this picture of Paul Heyman in front of some Japanese anime girl. I don't know. People are sick in the head sometimes and they like to make stupid pictures, Squidward. Snowdrop asked, what do you think would happen if the WWE fired everyone except for Hunico and Damien Sandow and had them play as everyone? Well, at least, you know, we would get a bunch of Sin Cara matches taking on, like, I don't know, like Damien Mizdow. We'd probably get, like, the Los Matadores facing the Border Patrol guys. So, you know, we would have definitely some interesting feuds. I just don't know how long they would last. And pretty much if they did do that, you know, the company would be fucked. You know, it's not like Damien Sandow when he does these impressions. He has a good voice to, like, impersonate the people. He's still talking at himself. And it's like, you know, Hunico, you can tell it's him all the time because he will have the tattoo. So it wouldn't be best for business, and the business would slowly suck. But it definitely would be entertaining for 2 episodes, that's for sure. I would actually watch that episode of SmackDown for that week just to see what they would do. Travis Nelson asked, why has Survivor Series been so bad lately? Because the WWE doesn't try to put effort towards Survivor Series. I don't know why. And do you think there should be more 5-on-5 elimination matches? Oh, hell yeah. Every Survivor Series, for me personally, you know, it's ridiculous. I don't get why everyone's like, oh, the title needs to be defended at every pay-per-view. No! Fuck that shit. The world title doesn't need to be defended at every pay-per-view. It's fine when sometimes you don't get a world title match. And the 5-on-5s, those are like perfect matches where you can build up all these different feuds or end feuds in these 5-on-5s. Like, your Survivor Series events, they should have 4 5-on-5s. That's it. 4 5-on-5s. What random matches you want to put into between. But the 4 5-on-5 should at least last 20 to 30 minutes long, with every guy getting at least a good rub in there. Yeah, they should have like 4 5-on-5s, man. They shouldn't be fucking having only 1 5-on-5. That's like the match of the night. That's like the best match, but it opens up the fucking show. Like, seriously, man. They need to have more 5-on-5s. That's what makes it interesting. That's what makes Survivor Series cool. Those 5-on-5s, I fucking love those matches, man. I really do. So, yeah, I don't get it. I don't know why they don't do the 5-on-5s anymore. Largest 85 asks, how long does it take to process and upload your Q&A videos? Depends on the length. If it's like 30+ minutes long, sometimes like 150 minutes to 200 minutes. Yeah, it uploads pretty fucking slow, man. I have slow internet, too. It's like if I had faster internet, because I upload these in like 720p, and it's like, you know, my internet's really fucking slow. So it doesn't go by really fucking fast. So it's like, you know, sometimes it'll be 200, sometimes it'll be 150. You know, if my internet is really nice and it goes really fast, then maybe 80 minutes. All depends on the internet speed. So processing doesn't take long whatsoever because I don't edit the Q&A videos like I do with the raw reviews and, you know, all the other commentary videos I do on this channel. So processing doesn't take long. I just hit the stop button on the record and then it's all ready to go to upload. But when it comes down to uploading, it takes a long ass time. And in a real life fight, who would win, Rousey or AJ? Rousey. No offense to AJ, I don't think she would be able to touch Ronda Rousey. I don't think anyone in the WWE Divas locker room could touch Ronda Rousey. She's just too much of a beast. Alrighty then. Let's get started with, we're going to the Q&A from the YouTube. Alright, Nintendo Fanboy. Q&A. What if WWE gave all 3 members of the Wyatt family a DJ gimmick like DJ Z and all of them go burr, 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 like DJ Z? How would fans feel about it? A lot of fans would be disgusted by it. I'm pretty sure it's just like, hey man, you took this cult creation in the Wyatt family and you made them into idiotic DJs. What the hell, WWE? I would be pissed off by it. I would just be like, what the fuck? What's next? Like, fucking Bray Wyatt's going to start rapping some more? Like, shit, man. That's not going to make Bray Wyatt more interesting. That'll make him look stupid. So, yeah, it definitely wouldn't help whatsoever. And what if Scott Steiner had a DJ gimmick? Can you imagine how funny that would be? You know, I love Scott Steiner. And he could definitely pull off the DJ gimmick because he is Scott Steiner. But in all honesty, man, no, dude. I wouldn't want to see Scott Steiner as a DJ, dude. Are you kidding me? That would just be bad. That would just be bad. Reginald D. Huff asks, what if Cesaro got a limo driver gimmick? What? I guess they'd be giving him a character, something he doesn't have right now, so why not? He can be Sheamus's limo driver and tries to injure Sheamus as he's driving. Sure, why not? And what if John Cena was revealed to be the man in the bunny suit of Adam Rose's group? Adam Rose and Cena feud, I guess? I don't know. Be kind of stupid. It would be like, why would you want to be in the bunny suit anyway, Cena? Like, what the fuck are you trying to do partying with the Rosebuds? Like, what? Yeah, I don't think that'd be a good idea, man. I don't think that'd be a good idea. For some reason, I don't know if my boy Reed19 sent me a second question, but it's only showing me one question here, Reed19, and it won't let me enlarge. So let me just read the question that you have sent to me. What if Roman Reigns enters the next Royal Rumble at number 1 and completely dominates until number 30 when Cena comes out, does 5 moves of doom, and eliminates Roman Reigns like he's nothing? Wrestling fans would be pissed off. It would be a dumb moment too, because why would you go all the way with Roman Reigns and have it where he's eliminating people left and right at number 1 just for John Cena just to come in and go, you know, just destroy fucking Roman Reigns? It'd just be stupid, and it would be hard to take Roman Reigns seriously again, because even though you could say, well, yeah, he lasted this long in the Royal Rumble, it's like, so what? He couldn't beat John Cena. At the end of the day, you have to beat John Cena to look legit in the company. That's just the bottom line. And if he can't beat John Cena inside the Royal Rumble, even though he was dead shit tired, and even though, you know, we could say Cena was fucking fresh as hell, at the end of the day, you still have to beat the dude. You know, that's just the bottom line fact. So it'd be kind of stupid, man. It would make no sense. Final Limits asks, did you see the leaked photos of Rosamunda's ass showing wardrobe malfunction? Yes, I did. I was like so shocked and surprised. I was like, God damn. Those are funny. Wardrobe malfunctions in wrestling are pretty damn funny sometimes. And how would you react if you were a wrestler and someone pulled your trunks and your whole bare ass showed? Oh, I would play along with it. I would shake my ass. I would do something like really disgusting that the fans would just be like, what the fuck? I'd probably get fined for it, but I'll just do it just for the fun of it. Little Fish asks, have you seen photos of female celebrities leaked online naked? Yep, I have. Don't really care for it all that much. I mean, maybe if they were in their prime, sure, but it is what it is. And why does Schlug Daddy from OTRS always yell during his videos while ranting? Because he's ranting. That's the whole point of ranting. You have to yell to get your point across. That's the whole point of a rant. So, yes. Jack Trice asks, what did you think of Claire Lynch storyline from TNA in 2012? Stupid. It was dumb. You know, I could understand where TNA was going for with it. I can definitely see what the idea behind it was. It definitely had a good premise, but the execution was bad. And that's the thing I always talk about. You know, some storylines, they could have really good ideas. Like, look at Samuel Shaw. He's another example of a good idea for a character, but it's just like the premise behind it and the execution, it's just like, oh, it's bad. That's what the Claire Lynch storyline was. It's like, oh, this is actually a good idea. This is something a lot of people can relate to. Let's do it. But they executed it so poorly, and it's more on Claire Lynch and how she acted during the whole thing than, you know, the wrestlers involved with it. And if you can bring any TNA superstar to feud with John Cena, who would it be, and why one guy only? Bobby Roode. Just because I think Bobby Roode could give John Cena a good match, and I think he's, you know, the money guy for TNA. And second to Bobby Roode, probably Lashley, just because Lashley has just been so dominant as of late for TNA, and I think him versus Cena would actually be an awesome matchup. So those would be the two guys. Justin Side asks, what did you think of Carlito and Primo tag team that formed in 2008 and broke them in the summer of 2009? I didn't care for them, man. And I thought it was so stupid that the WWE gave them the unified tag stripes. I mean, you have Miz and Morrison who are entertaining, and you give it to Primo and Carlito? The fuck? That was just so dumb. And how would you book Cena as being a human instead of super duper Cena crap? You know, just make him more concerned about the people around him. Have him have more friendships, you know. Do storylines with him where he has to actually show emotion. You know, that's the problem with Cena. That's one thing I always tell people about Batista and Cena, their differences to rise to star power is that, like, even though Cena, yes, became the merch seller for the WWE, you know, Batista, he was the more humanistic guy. You know, you could see human emotions inside of Batista with some of the rivalries and storylines that he's had. You know, Cena, sometimes in his storylines, they show humanistic values to him, But every time they need to show humanistic value to John Cena, it's because his dad got beat up. You know, that type of deal. It's like, how come this motherfucker's dad has to get beat up all the time just so this guy can act like a real person? How come, you know, like Cena can't just be mad because, you know, his best friend got screwed over? Or, you know, Nikki did this to like fucking Brie, and, you know, Cena was having a bad day at SummerSlam. You know, he's like, you know, at first I was having a really good day at SummerSlam, but then all these events happen, you know, like my best friend, you know, let's just say, for example, Dolph Ziggler lost at SummerSlam. One of my best friends, Dolph, you know, he lost at SummerSlam. And then all of a sudden, you know, my girlfriend, who I love truly so much, Nikki, turned on her sister Brie for whatever insane reason. And then I go on to face Brock Lesnar. I get my ass kicked. It was the worst day for me. And then, like, Cena doesn't know what's going on. You know, that type of stuff. You can make Cena just feel more that you can connect with the guy. You can't connect with the John Cena right now. It's really hard to say what I would do back in time to make Cena more humanistic, because there are some times where you could have done something like that, but hey, it is what it is. Sometimes the WWE does stupid stuff with John Cena. John Kunt asked, how would you think Cena would have been booked in the Attitude Era if he was around back then? Rapper Cena. Because Rapper Cena would work. Dude, Rapper Cena would have been that one guy everyone would have loved in the Attitude Era, because first of all, it's like, Eminem was getting hot at the time. Let's just not deny that fact. Eminem was fucking hot as hell. So, you know, you get a white rapper on WWE TV, people are going to like that, especially because a lot of the guys were more heavy metal, hard rock type of guys, and here's this different guy who's, you know, kind of rapping all over the place. He would be definitely someone that would be in the Intercontinental title scene, and not going to lie, if he was around definitely for the Attitude Era, you know, doing the whole rapping stuff, you could even make an argument by like 2001 or 2002, you would want to throw the title on him because he's becoming so fucking hot. That's just the bottom line. Like, if he started in 1998, he was rapping and doing all that other stuff, he would become a hot character for the company. And, you know, he would have had his push a little bit sooner, you know, than he would have gotten. You know, like, you would have started pushing him in 2002. So, yeah, he definitely would have been a big star in the Attitude Era. That's just my personal opinion. And you think Mark Henry is boring as a face? Sometimes, yes, I will say that. I think sometimes Mark Henry is boring as a face. But the one thing that Mark Henry lacks in the covers up with the lack in the charisma department is that he's just so fucking massive, dude. And he's just such a badass looking motherfucker. That's what works with Mark Henry. It's like, look at Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley, boring as fuck when it comes down to charisma and everything else. But you look at the dude and you're just saying, it works. That's why it works with Henry being a babyface. You know, yeah, he's not as entertaining as he was as a heel, but boy, this guy's a badass motherfucker and someone you want to mess with, and someone that you could actually get behind because of that. So it works at the end of the day. But yes, he is kind of boring. Brony Loney asked, what do you think of the comedian Joan Rivers passing away? It was definitely a shock. I was in my class and someone told me Joan Rivers passed away. I was like, whoa, what? It sucks. Funny comedian, and may he rest in peace. And you think TNA will have a home by Christmas time? Oh, they've been talking to networks. It seems like Discovery, Velocity might want to add them to their network. So hopefully, more wrestling the better for me. That's what I say. Randy Bussetti asked, Q&A, was WWE storylines bad in the 94-95 compared to now in 2014? Here's the thing. Storyline-wise, WWF in 94-95, they weren't bad storylines. It was just the bad characters that they had. Like, see, today's wrestling, they just have bad storylines. That's like their main problem in today's wrestling, is that they can't execute a good storyline to save their lives. But what I always argue and what I say is this, is that like when people talk about that this is PG crap, I say to them, no, 94 and 95 for WWF was PG crap. This today WWE is not PG whatsoever. This is just lazy execution in storytelling. That's all it is. You know, the storylines in 94 and 95 were pretty damn solid. There's no denying it. They had some pretty solid storylines in 94 95. It was just your characters were fucking goofy. A lot of the product felt insulting to your intelligence when it came down to it. That's just the thing. So, you know, a lot of people, what I always try to say is like 94 95, it's a terrible era in wrestling. It is, for WWF and WCW. But I always say, like, you know, when people call, you know, 2014 stuff stupid PG crap, I'm like, seriously, go watch 94 95 and tell me how this crap in 94 95 is is like, you get what I'm saying. I've gone in on this rant so many times, and I've explained my reasonings. But storyline-wise, 94-95 was a better year than today's storytelling, because that's what's missing in today's wrestling, is that these motherfuckers don't know how to write a story to save their fucking lives. And you see the Hardy Boys coming back to the WWE. I don't think Triple H is interested in bringing them back. Maybe Jeff, but not Matt. Yeah, maybe Jeff. Reginald D. Huff asked, Q&A, if you could rebuild any WWE superstar from the ground up, who would you choose? Big E, because I like Big E, and I think that he looks interesting. So I would, repackage him for sure, just to try to make him a little bit better. So Big E for sure. And is John Cena's WWE's biggest problem? Yeah, I think he's one of their big problems, because, they put so much money into the Cena basket. Like, they always go to John Cena to do everything for the fucking company. So I would say he is their biggest problem, because, with Cena there, it's hard to, like, really want to promote other guys, because, like, when they're making T-shirts, one of the guys that they have to make new T-shirts for, well, John Cena's one of them. So instead of, having, like, 2 to 3 different Roman Reigns T-shirts out there, we only have one. And instead of having 2 to 3 different Dean Ambrose T-shirts out there, we have, like, what, 1 or 2 in a jacket? You could be using your money for T-shirts to other superstars to make sure these superstars have 2 to 3 or 4 different T-shirts. But that's just not the case. With John Cena, he has like 4 or 5 different T-shirts a month or some shit like that. So it's like, T-shirt bundles and crap like that. So, with John Cena there, it's hard to really promote everyone else, because you just feel like, oh, Cena at the end of the day, he's our money guy. He's selling out all the damn T-shirts. So we have to make sure that he gets his at the end of the day. So, he is a big problem for them, because it's just like, they don't see past him. They don't really see past him. They put all their money into his fucking basket. They don't put their money into all different 6 superstar baskets. If you put money in if you had 6 different superstars and you put money into their basket, you would see more money grow. Because not everyone's going to like the one person. That's just the bottom line. Not everyone's going to be fans of Dean Ambrose. Not everyone's going to be fans of Roman Reigns. Not everyone's going to be a fan of Seth Rollins. But, there's going to be people who do like a Seth Rollins, who do like a Dean Ambrose, who do like a Roman Reigns, but may not like the, the other two. So, you get what I'm saying? It's just that, with Cena, they focus more just on him and feel like the WWE revolves around him, when really the WWE should be multiple people that they revolve around. But that's just me. I just took business classes in high school, so what do I know? I love Watermelon 525 asks, any games you're looking forward to getting this summer? Well, summer passed. This fall, not. Maybe Destiny? I don't know. Not really interested into some of the games coming out this year. And which superstars do you think WWE was going to give a big push to that they dropped the ball with name them all? Oh my god, name them all. Vader, Ryback, Maven. I really thought they were going to do something big with Maven. They're like, he was feuding with the fucking Undertaker, dog. Like, come on. Oh. Curtis Axel. That's another one. Right now, you can say Bray Wyatt. Yeah, Bray Wyatt for sure right now. Cody Rhodes. Ted DiBiase Jr. Mr. Kennedy, MVP, Wade Barrett. Bobby Lashley. I'm trying to think of all of them. There's a bunch of them, from the mid-2000s as well. Booker T, Rob Van Dam. That's all I can think of, man. Like, I can't name them all. There's so many to name of guys that, they were going to give a big push to. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, Chase, Booker T, and RVD, they ended up winning world titles, but they should have won them earlier. That's what I'm saying. They dropped the ball on those characters when they were really, really hot. Shororo Horror asks, what videos do you plan on doing a year from now? Pretty much the same videos you see on my channel now. Maybe more commentary videos. So pretty much the same stuff. And why do you look like crap in some of your videos? I don't know, man. I don't care about my damn appearance. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I look crappy. Sometimes I don't get sleep. Sometimes I fucking don't wash my face. Who knows? I don't know why sometimes I look like crap in my videos. Lonely Low asks, how much water do you drink and how much is a person supposed to drink? I drink a good amount of water. I would say like 5 bottles of water a day. Apparently, you're supposed to drink 8 glasses a day. That's what doctors say, and that's what I've learned from since I was a little kid. So, yeah. And what are the most American badasses Why are most Americans fat asses? Because the thing is with the American culture and why a lot of people are fat is because just the type of food that we're allowed to get and eat. Because healthy living is really hard, especially like the money that goes into it. And it's much more easier to pay, I don't know, like $3 to get like 2 burgers from McDonald's than fucking paying like $10 for, you know, a salad or something. So a lot of people are fat asses because of, you know, just the way we eat, the way we're wired, and just how much easy accessible fast food is to us instead of, you know, the healthy foods. That's just pretty much why. Lino Gino asks, when is Dean Ambrose coming back? After Night of Champions? Yeah, I think it's after Night of Champions. And where do you see Dean Ambrose a year from now? Probably in the same position he's at now, having a good mid-card feud with someone. That's what I'd probably see. I'd definitely see that in Dean Ambrose. Maybe fighting for the title, who knows. Ferris Kenny 221 asks, what do you think about Mark Jindrak and the idea of him being in Evolution? It was a good idea and concept, but Triple H wanted Batista, as Batista revealed in the Talk Is Jericho interview, that Triple H was pushing for Dave and that, you know, the company wanted Mark, but Triple H was like, no, 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 I want Dave Batista. Like I said in a previous Q&A a long fucking time ago, I said that, you know, if Mark Jindrak was in Evolution, I don't think he would have been as successful. You know, I don't think he would have made it into the big time like Batista did. I think he would kind of had, you know, an IC title run for sure, but I don't think he would have became a major star out of it, and it would have just been a waste of a talent inside of Evolution. Now, if he was, like, let's say Evolution was a 5-man group and he was in there, it would have been fine, but if he was a part of the original 4, I don't think it would have worked out that well. And what did you think about Bradshaw becoming JBL? It was a good gimmick change. You know, it was, like, definitely needed. You know, the APA, they weren't as hot as they were. You know, they weren't really doing much in the WWE Tag Team title scene. So you might as well try to separate JBL. You know, the company has always been a fan of Bradshaw and his work. So you might as well separate them and see what he could do. And when he became the JBL character, it was like a character we loved in Bradshaw, and he's transforming himself into a rich, smug gimmick. You can hate that right away. And, you know, he went from a hardworking Texan to a fucking rich, smug New York guy. So that's something that you could relate to. Red Wolf 316 asks, which year did you think it was the worst for these wrestling promotions? WWF in 1995 or WCW in 2000? Oh, WCW in 2000, because that's what led to their demise. See, WWF 95 was bad. All right, it was bad. But at least they had stars there to cover their asses. And guys from the future building up. You know, Rocky Maivia, otherwise known to become The Rock. The Rainmaster to become Stone Cold Steve Austin. Hunter Hearst Helmsley to become Triple H. So, you know, they had pieces there, but WCW in 2000 had nothing, man. They had nothing that led to their fucking demise. Redwood 316 asks, what would WCW be like if it was still alive today? It definitely would still be interesting, because we got to put into the factor here, you know, let's say they still stayed alive. You know, it's not like WCW could have eventually, like, you know, become small like TNA. I mean, if it was still alive, you know, it would still draw crowds. I'm pretty sure there would be a point in time in wrestling, you know, where it becomes booming again, where it's like 2005 or 2006, WCW gets like a big name from the WWE. You know, it'd add more definitely for, you know, wrestlers today if they had a WCW where it's like, you know, because I don't think WCW would be to the point where they couldn't host inside big arenas anymore. I'm pretty sure a lot of they would still have a lot of money from Ted Turner to be able to, you know, get inside the arena scene. So they definitely would have the production values that WWE has, and, you know, it'd be better for the wrestlers. So I don't think it would be all too bad, but I don't think WCW or WWE would be competing with each other as hard as they did. That's just my opinion on it. The Gochi Man asks, hey Chase, as much as people bash Triple H for burying a lot of talent more than John Cena, can you at least give him credit for putting over more guys than Cena has ever done? And this isn't talking like I'm a John Cena hater. Oh, Triple H has definitely put over more talent than John Cena. There's no denying it. You know, Gochi Man, it's like Triple H from 02 through 03. It was like this, man. He buried guys that should have won, if you get what I'm saying. Like, you know, Cena during his reign of terror, okay, yeah, he buried Umaga, who I liked, but how many people really thought Umaga was going to be a big star? He buried Great Khali. None of you guys liked the Great Khali, so why would you care if, like, Great Khali beat John Cena? You know, Bobby Lashley should have went over here, and then he was facing a bunch of veterans that you knew were going to put him over in the first place. Triple H during his reign of terror in 0203 was better than RVD, Kane, Booker T, the guys that you know should have became world champions over Triple H, that Triple H could have elevated into bigger and better stars. You know, he undercut Randall Keith Orton, and I wasn't, and you know, yeah, it was cool that he put over Batista, but it's like, you know, during that time, man, he was hurting the company more than helping the company. You know, John Cena has hurt the company in one way, but Triple H hurt the company in another way. But yes, Triple H has put over more people. There's no denying it. But when you compare the two reign of terrors and of who they buried, Triple H has buried more guys that could have helped the company than fucking John Cena. And that's just a fact. You know, just comparing the two reign of terrors. But overall, career-wise, yeah, you know, Triple H has put over more people. Joe Juicy asks, who is the most overhyped team in the NFL? That's a good one, man. Who is the most overhyped team in the NFL? I'm trying to think about that. It's not the Broncos. It's not the Patriots. Yeah, man, this is hard. I'm trying to really think of who I think it... The Bears. I would say the Bears. And the reason being is because a lot of people think like, oh, they have Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall, Alshon Jeffrey, and all that other crap. They have a high explosive offense, but it's just like, you know, their defense is still bad. And, you know, like I said, it's like I think a lot of people are going to just choose the Bears just because they think that they're going to be so good on the offensive side of the football. So it is what it is. Jay Walker asks, have you ever watched any of the Nightmare of Elm Street movies? No, I haven't. You know, I just haven't been interested in it. But I watched Freddy vs. Jason. Does that count? I don't know if it counts under, you know, Nightmare of Elm Street category, but Freddy's in it. So, but no, I haven't seen any of them. And how would you feel if you saw a clown in your backyard burying a dead body, and what would you do? I would probably faint. You know what I'm saying, Doc? Like, creepy-ass clown buried a dead body in my backyard, I'll be like, psh, I'll just faint, man. That's just the bottom line. I wouldn't do anything with it. I'll just faint. Slapnuts 2000 asks, which wrestler had a bigger ego during the 2000s? Triple H or Jeff Jarrett? Ooh. Oh. That's a good one. Now, Triple H's ego, it's big. It is a big ego. It's definitely bigger than Jeff Jarrett's. But if we want to just go with the 2000s, oh, Jeff fucking Jarrett. I'm going to start my own company, TNA Wrestling. Woohoo! I'm going to take over the WWE, give me every title in the world. Oh, Jeff Jarrett definitely has a bigger ego, especially in the early 2000s, than Triple fucking H. He started his own company to try to compete with the WWE and TNA, man. He thought, oh, yeah, he was going to be able to make this into the greatest fucking company, and look at what happened. He's gone from it, and now he's trying to do the same shit with GFW. Fuck you, Jeff Jarrett. But it's definitely Jarrett. And how big are the Breakfast Club's egos combined? Big. Really big. Like, you know, what's the biggest planet again? Juniper or Saturn? Saturn big. It's fucking huge, man. Josh Chambers asks, will WWE have a better creative team? No. Maybe once the NXT writers come up. Because they can write some solid storylines. Like, definitely back in 2013 NXT, there were some good storylines that I liked. So maybe, just maybe, who knows. Once Steph stops taking control of creative, I would definitely say Stephanie McMahon, once he steps down, that's when creative can get better. Jake Loomis asks, what match made you proud to be a wrestling fan? Kurt Angle versus Undertaker, No Way Out, 2006. Awesome matchup. Fake Good Mic Work asks, how would you feel if John Cena and Randy Orton sucked each other's cocks in the main event of WrestleMania 31? Breakfast Club rules, bitches. That's how I'd feel about it. John Cool asks, what if the next Grand Theft Auto game added a special feature of you going to space? Ooh, that would just break fucking boundaries. Because how many times have many of y'all played flying games like Ace Combat or just like a flying game in general, and y'all try to fly up to as far as you can? How many of y'all tried to do that? Be honest here. How many of y'all try to do that where you're playing a flying game and you try to fly to fucking space? So many fucking gamers do that with their flying vehicles, man. So it'd be fucking awesome to be able to fly in space. I don't know how it would work. I don't know what you could do in space, but definitely be fucking cool, and I would definitely enjoy it. I definitely would fucking love that if the Grand Theft Auto game did that. Real Heel asked, what would John Cena's career be like if he was in the Attitude Era? Refer to the last previous question. Like I kind of said, he'd be successful. I think he definitely would have been hugely successful, especially as a rapper. Definitely. The Real Heel also asked, what are some ideas that ideas you have to help TNA stay in business a little bit longer, and some ideas you have to help them grow. Uh, some ideas that I have for TNA to help them stay in business a little bit more is talk about how, you know, maybe we shouldn't be pushing certain guys like this, talking about promoting a little bit more, saying, hey, you know, we have Twitters for a reason, so let's tweet this out there. I'd be calling a bunch of radio stations and saying, like, hey, we have, you know, the TV tapings coming here in Pennsylvania. Would you mind if we came down to, you know, do radio interviews? Hey, you know, I got this one superstar. I would call these shows up and see if they're interested of having TNA, you know, news stations, whatever it takes, you know, just to promote the fact that they're going to be in fucking town. You know, that's what I would do from the business side of things, and to help them grow, you know, I would make sure that, you know, we start pushing younger talent. I'd be like, hey, look, we have a guy like Sonata. Hey, look, we have this guy in Mannix. Let's stop pushing these older guys. You know, we have to get these older guys out of here. You know, as much as I love the Samoa Joes of the world and the Bobby Roodes, you know, they're like in their mid fucking 30s. You know, they can't go as they used to go. So, like, in all honesty, I would tell them, like, hey, you guys are here for one thing and one thing only. Put over these young talents and make them into fucking stars, so that way you guys could stay here a little bit longer and maybe come back for one more run and we can be a successful company. Those are just some ideas that I would say. Joe Juicy asked, what was the best movie you saw this year? X-Men Days of Future Past. Joe, did you ask 3 questions, Joe? Come on, Joe. Come on. You should know the rules. Greg Toomer asked, if Scott Steiner was in a comedy movie, what would you want the movie to be about? Scott Steiner was in a comedy movie. I would have it where it's like Scott Steiner's Adventures with P.D. Williams. Just because, like, P.D. Williams tells, like, the best Scott Steiner stories. And if you haven't heard any of them, you should fucking listen to, like, The Art of Wrestling with Colt Cabana. Or just type in P.D. Williams, Scott Steiner on YouTube, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It would just be fucking funny. Just the adventures of P.D. Williams and Scott Steiner. I fucking think I would love that. And Greg Toomer also asked, and who do you think could replace the Breakfast Club once they're all gone? Greg Toomer, as the Schleg Daddy once told me, you can't replace the Breakfast Club. When they're gone, the whole Breakfast Club is fucking gone. So you can't replace them. But there will be a new club that will be forming once the Breakfast Club is gone, and it's called the Leftovers Club. And who's in that Leftovers Club, you may ask? Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, and Cesaro. And what does this Leftover Club do? Are they like the Breakfast Club where they don't put over young talent? No, the Leftovers Club is a complacent club. They won't ever be as successful as the Breakfast Club because none of them have egos like the Breakfast Club does. No, they would want to put over the losers that are not inside of the Leftovers Club. And not only that, they're only a part of this Leftovers Club because, we're the best you got. That's just pretty much it. That is the Leftovers fucking club. You know, they're not going to be as successful as the Breakfast Club, bitch. They'll just be okay. And it's because they won't put over, they'll keep putting over younger guys. At the Breakfast Club, they like to bury their competition. So anyways, guys, thank you for sending in the questions for this Q&A. Remember, guys, 1 question for the next Q&A. Hopefully, I won't be uploading fucking any more 38-minute Q&As. I don't know if y'all watched this whole video. If you guys did, God bless your souls. Anyways, hope you guys enjoy your Friday. Have a good day. Tomorrow, I got NXT and Impact Wrestling review. So I hope you guys enjoy that. See y'all next time. Peace.